This week's Grandmaster is Scarlet Keep, and similar to a Nightfall-like Glassway, the boss room is extremely unforgiving. It's small, has a ton of ads, and even has unstoppable champions to make your lives difficult. If you don't manage this boss fight properly, you can do too much damage to the boss, which overlaps ad spawns and can send your fire team back to orbit. So in today's video, I'll be breaking down the tips and tricks of the Scarlet Keep Grandmaster to make this Nightfall a breeze. I'm Above, and if you enjoyed today's video, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's get into it. Diving into my recommended team comp, we opted for survivability and ad clear over DPS supers for this specific Grandmaster. As I noted earlier, we want to avoid doing burst damage to the boss. Ladoon is the make or break of this Nightfall, so we want to utilize supers that give us control of the boss room. We went with one Thunder Crash Titan with Heart of Inmost Light, one Well of Radiance Warlock with Phoenix Protocol, and one Tether Hunter with Aeon Swifts. Storm Grenades with Touch of Thunder are incredibly strong right now, and is made even better by the fact that Scarlet Keep is an Arc Singe Nightfall. Heart of Inmost Light ensures that your nades are available to you at almost all times, which is incredibly valuable for ad clear situations. The Invis Hunter provides an additional layer of control in the boss fight, and is great for nuking waves of ads throughout this Nightfall. As always, Well is a great tool to have in ad dense choke points, and Phoenix Protocol comes in handy because you're able to repeatedly spam your wells, especially in the boss room. As for weapon loadouts, we went with Arbalest and Wishender for anti-barrier, and Galahorn for ad clear and its ability to buff other rockets with Wolfpack rounds. We paired these exotics with two unstoppable hand cannons, a waveframe grenade launcher for ad clear, and a blinding GL to suppress the wizards throughout this Nightfall. We also used two Arc legendary rockets to benefit from the Wolfpack rounds that Galley provides. These loadouts give us ad clear, the ability to cover all shield types, and are incredibly reliable for champion stuns. As for key armor mods, you're going to want Arc Resist and Concussive Dampener on your chest piece to counter the Arc Singe, Sect of Insight on your Aeon Gauntlets to produce heavy ammo on Finisher, and Lucent Finisher for double heavy drops. This not only allows you to play much more aggressive in this Grandmaster, you also ensure that your Aeon user is getting ammo for themselves as well. You can also equip Weakened Clear to help your GLs do additional damage to shielded combatants and champions, which is definitely helpful in some of the hardest parts of this Grandmaster. As we dive into the Nightfall, the opening of this Grandmaster is pretty straightforward. The first champion can be found in this multi-level room, where you want to start by clearing acolytes from this high ground, then have one member of your team push up on the right-hand side of this platform to spawn the two snipers. Take these out, then focus on the barrier champion and get a finisher if you need it. As we make our way outside, we'll arrive at an encounter with two hive towers on either side of the arena. I like to clear these one at a time, but before doing so, you want to clear the center platform first. I like to start by focusing on the right barrier champion, as you have a clear line of sight as it spawns. Once dead, clear the ads on this side of the platform, then move left and focus your attention on the second barrier champion. Once you've cleared the platform, make your way to the left tower. Blinding nades are incredible here because you can actually blind these yellow bar wizards. They're incredibly annoying otherwise, but blinding makes this part trivial. Galley also does a great job getting them low, which makes this part significantly easier. Once dead, you'll need to pick up the orb that spawns and deposit it on the center platform. When you pick it up, a barrier champion will spawn in. You can actually jump up on these pillars and get on top of this structure for high ground on the barrier, making this easy pickings. If you need a finisher here, definitely feel free to get one. You can then repeat this exact process on the right tower. Clear the ads, kill the wizard, get the barrier low, and get a finisher to restock on ammo one last time. Now that both orbs have been deposited, the bridge will be lowered and we're moving on. Start by sending one person forward to spawn the ads, then back up and use your well and tether to clear out the bridge. The Unstoppable typically doesn't aggro from here, which allows you to deal with the ads in front of you as your first priority. Once clear, take out the unstoppable champion and use galley to clear out the snipers above it. As you approach the midpoint of the bridge, have one person jump down, then jump back up to spawn the wave of adds. 2 solar wizards will spawn in on each side of the bridge, and you can use galley to take these out with ease. As you push up, focus on the barrier champ at the top of the stairs, as he can be incredibly annoying if left alive too long. Once dead, clear the adds, then team shot the Shrieker. There is just one barrier champion between you and the next encounter, so you want to make sure to get a finisher to restock on ammo before the altars begin. Start by stepping on the plate, and a solar wizard will spawn on the platform in front of you. Acolytes will also spawn on your right and left hand sides, so you're going to want to pop a well on this plate and nuke the wizard with galley as your first priority. While this is happening, your teammates will clear the adds on your sides. Once you've captured the plate, a barrier champion will spawn on that same platform in front of you. Rocket the barrier as it spawns in, which will kill most of the snipers that spawn up with it. You want to make sure that all of these are dead before moving to the other plates, because they're extremely deadly and can catch you off guard otherwise. Pick a side and stay together. Solar wizards will spawn on each plate as you approach them, which is why blinding nades will be so clutch here yet again. Feel free to thunder crash the wizards as well, and use galley to nuke them if you have spare ammo. As you step on the plate, a barrier will spawn on the platform in front of you with adds on either side yet again. Clear the adds, get a finisher on the champion, and repeat this exact process on the other side of the arena. Once all 3 plates have been cleansed, the door will open, and we're moving on. As we make our way to the entrance of the Scarlet Keep, there are 3 barrier champions that we'll need to take care of. The first is on the hill leading up to the bridge and is pretty straightforward. You'll just need to keep an eye out for snipers on your right hand side. The second barrier likes to back up behind this center platform, which will put it in line of sight of the snipers at the end of the bridge. And there are a ton of them, so you want to make these your first priority. Galley is amazing for this once again, because one solidly placed rocket can take out most of the pack. Once dead, take out the barrier in front of you, then push up and open the Shrieker to team shot it immediately. Now push up the stairs and get a finisher on the final barrier champion, which will spawn adds in the entrance of the keep. When you push past this divider, it will spawn these adds, so you need to make sure that your teammates are covering for you when you go for the first finisher. Once dead, you can push up, clear the rest of the adds, and get a final finisher on the barrier champion before the elevator. The elevator can be a little sketchy if you don't have much experience in this Grandmaster. There's limited cover and adds spawn on all sides of you, but you can actually cheese this part of the Nightfall by finding an open room, killing those adds, and smoking your teammates to jump into the cubby for cover. You'll then receive a joining allies to the next floor, which will skip this part entirely. The first floor has 2 barrier champions, one at the entrance of each room, so pick a side and shoot a Galahorn into the room to clear the surrounding adds. Once dead, focus on the solar wizard in the center of the room, then get the second barrier low and get a finisher to restock on ammo. You're gonna rinse and repeat this process when you head up to the second floor, but this time there will be an unstoppable champion that spawns directly in front of you. Wait for the ogre to settle for a second before stunning it, or it will bug the stun, which can result in stupid deaths. This is the final champion you can finish before the boss room, so make sure to get a finisher if needed to make sure you're topped off on ammo before the boss fight. 2 solar wizards will be waiting for you as you reach the top of the spire, and when these die, the boss fight will begin. Hashladoon is now damageable and will be the only enemy in the arena until you take away roughly 1/6 of its health bar. A single rocket should do this, so make sure you guys communicate on who's going to be doing damage. Otherwise, you can overdamage the boss and overlap ad spawns as I mentioned earlier. Hashladoon works in a very similar way to the Lightblade, where ad spawns are tied to damage gates on the boss's health bar. If you do too much damage too quickly, these spawns will overlap, which will cause you to get overrun and send you back to orbit. I like to play on the back right hand side of the arena because enemies will never spawn in this location and it has decent cover from Hashladoon. The first damage gate, which is about 1/6 of her health bar as I mentioned before, will spawn 2 Arc Knights and Acolytes alongside them. Use your Storm Grenades and Forbearance to clear the adds, which really limits the chaos in this encounter. You also have a Phoenix Well at your disposal, which means you can use this for almost every phase of the boss fight. Once clear, shoot one more rocket at the boss to spawn the next 2 Arc Knights, then take the boss down to the 2/3 health gate, which will spawn 2 Solar Wizards. And once both of these are dead, you can take turns baiting boss aggro so that your teammates can run around the arena and grab ammo as needed. You can even wait out your supers if you really want to. Once ready, get the boss down to half health, which will spawn in 2 more Arc Knights, but this time will be accompanied by Acolytes out of this left door. I recommend that one person spawn kills the Acolytes while the others focus on the Knights. Once clear, damage gate the boss to the 1/3 health gate, which will spawn 2 unstoppable ogres, Cursed Thrall, and even more Acolytes. For this wave, I recommend shifting to the center of the arena where you can throw down a well and use Tether to suppress the enemies. The Unstop should die almost instantly with all of the damage stacking applied. When this wave is clear, Hash Ladoon will become damageable one last time. This is the only phase where you want to melt her as quickly as possible, which will make the Scarlet Keep Grandmaster Nightfall a GG. If you found this guide useful, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated, and you can also find me live over on Twitch at twitch.tv/above, where I'll be doing GM helps all season long. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.